So I have had a few requests about my skincare and skincare for makeup. So I figured now's as good a time as any to get into that. I've never done a skincare video on my channel, mostly because nothing really changes. I keep it very simple, but I think that that's what some people maybe want to hear. I know a lot of people have some really intense skincare regimens that, involve like a 10-step process. But that's not me, and I think most people don't really wanna do that. So I figured I'd share what I've learned and prepping for makeup as well because my channel is all about makeup, so that's what's kind of most important to me next to just managing my skin's needs. If you have a skin type like me, which is very sensitive, you may find this video in particular helpful because I have had to manage some skin conditions like eczema and reactionary skin. So that's another reason why I have to pare it back and I just can't be one of those people using all these actives and all these layers. So that's the plan for today. Let's get into it. So yeah, a little bit of history about my skin and skin type. I, have struggled with acne on and off like many people, especially in my teen years. It got really bad in my early 20s, and that was a whole different time and skin regimen. But I still do get little flare ups, in particular, like hormonal flare ups. And then I also have very sensitive skin. I haven't had too many issues with makeup products, but I've used skincare products and my skin has gotten a huge rash from it, itchy and red. I once had eczema really bad, like down my neck and my eyelids, and I would wake up with like puffy, swollen eyelids. So I have to be very careful. Like, I try as often as possible to avoid certain things like fragrance or intense actives. So, yeah, for me, it's been really just about finding products that aren't going to irritate my skin and are just going to make sure I have cleansed skin and moisturized skin. So there's a line of products that have saved me, and that is from Aven, which is a French skincare brand. I find these kind of dermatological types of brands can be a good place to look to for people wanting something simple and effective. And this is the Xeracom line. Like it even says here, it soothes itching, lipid replenishing cleansing oil for skin prone to itching. So this line has a particular active ingredient. I'm not a scientist. I do not know what this is, but I've noticed this on the package called Imodulia. Imodulia. Whatever it is, I gotta say, since turning to this product and I also have their moisturizer I'll talk about in a second, my skin hasn't had any reactions. I would use cleansers and my skin would react like traditional cleansers. So what I do to remove my makeup is, because this is an oil cleanser, it is really great at removing makeup. So I use it once, and then rather than double cleanse, most people turn to then, instead of an oil cleanser, more of a water-based type of cleanser. I just cleanse again with this. It gets the last of the makeup off and it just works for me. Yeah, I've loved this. My mom uses it. She's used it for many years as well. She doesn't have sensitive skin, lucky duck. Yeah, I don't know. If you found like cleansers even irritating for you, I would check out this line. I get it at the drugstore. So after I cleanse, and we're talking about taking off makeup, I use a toner. And this is the Acewell Licorice pH Balancing Cleansing Toner. So this is Korean skincare. This Aven is French. So between French and Korean skincare, I've had a lot of good luck actually. This is for, it says toner for sensitive skin. I think I'm on my like 10th bottle of this. I've mentioned this, I think way back when on my other channel with my mom when we did a skincare thing. Like nothing's changed much. So these are all tried and true for me. And I have found that this has been a game changer for really making sure that moisturizer and stuff really takes to my skin. Like after I cleanse, I take a cotton pad and use a little bit of this all over, and it just preps the skin really nicely so that there's a bit of, tackiness or still hydration happening. And then I put my moisturizer on top, and I found this gets rid of any kind of last bits of makeup I maybe missed. And it just smells nice. It feels nice. I could potentially use this just as a moisturizer in some ways because it has enough of that, I don't know, feeling of like hydrating a little bit. My skin is prone to dryness. If I don't moisturize or do anything, it would feel a little bit tight after a shower. but it's not the kind of dryness that it's like flaky or anything. So it's very manageable. And then I use at night my Zeracom. This is the lipid replenishing balm. There's a cream and there's also a lotion. So it's the balm I've particularly loved. It feels the most kind of silky and like a really moisturizing lotion. And it helps with itching. I use it on my hands too. You can use this all over your body when like I get a bit of eczema here. So this helps. And yeah, once again, it's just the same thing with the cleanser. It's just really helped me manage any kind of times I'm having reactionary skin. And the bottle's huge. I think these are around $30 Canadian each, I want to say, but they last a long time. So it's good not to be buying some tiny little lotion off of Sephora, you know? So in the morning, makeup prep. I do not cleanse my skin in the morning. I've just found it feels like too much cleansing for my skin. I just use a little bit of water, splash it away, and then I use the toner again with a cotton pad, gets rid of any maybe a little bit of dirt because you don't really want to be layering makeup over like dirty skin. And then I use a lighter moisturizer because under makeup, this would be too much. Unless you're one of those people who have maybe really, really, really dry skin, this is definitely a nighttime product. So there's a couple of different daytime lotions I've tried. I'm on my second bottle of this. This is the mugwort cream from I'm From. This is Korean, and it's more of a gel. So it's really lightweight. I'm sure many of you know like a gel moisturizer is just more lightweight. Just use a little bit of this. I'm mindful of not putting too much of it right here. This is where makeup tends to, get a little bit more shiny for me, as with most people actually. I've also tried out the Merit moisturizer. That worked out really well. I would definitely repurchase that. It felt like a lighter lotion. I found that wore really well under makeup. So what I want to say at this stage with makeup prep is I honestly don't know how so many makeup creators or just influencers layer so much product below their makeup. Like I've seen it happen. I've seen like the 7-step routine and then they put their makeup on. I'm skeptical, okay, that their makeup's actually lasting because it's often like you can see that it's very heavy with like moisturizer and I don't know, like serums and stuff. And then you put the makeup on and it can look really beautiful at first. Great for if you're about to take photos or just go out on an errand quickly, but I find it breaks down so quickly. Like I don't have oily skin, that's the thing. So I don't think I've done anything wrong, but whenever I've tried to even layer something like this under my makeup, it just breaks down and it's like I'm shiny within like 2 hours because the skincare is penetrating through the makeup. So I really think when in doubt, keep it really minimal under your makeup. Yes, moisturized skin. Yes, exfoliated skin, and I'll get into that in a moment. Like if you have patchy, dry spots, makeup is going to show up poorly. But thinking you have to do a ton of steps for your makeup prep, just know that that's not the case. Sometimes even if you apply makeup, here's something I've noticed, because I tend to gravitate towards matte foundations. Sometimes I apply it and at first it looks a little dry. Then I give it 20 minutes. My skin, natural oils have sort of penetrated it as it does, and it kind of just softens all out. Sometimes even when you have those little dry bits, personally, I've just found it kind of like chills out. It doesn't stay looking like that. So just maybe experiment. If you've been finding like your longevity just isn't there, just strip it back. I should mention sunscreen because I should be wearing sunscreen, and I do. I mostly wear it in the summer. In the winter here lately, it's been so cloudy and I'm not outside that much. Yes, I know you should still wear it, but I got makeup on. I don't know. Whatever. But summer, yes, you need sunscreen. Now, I'm not necessarily recommending this. This is a special product that is so expensive. It's like $100 Canadian. This is from Murad. It's their SPF 45, but I am mentioning it because it is a sunscreen I found wears for me really well under makeup. It doesn't cause any greasiness and it's great for my sensitive skin. I had purchased it at full price before and it worked great, but I wasn't gonna buy it again because of the price point. I just like, this is stupid. But then I found it at my local Winners for $35, so I did pick it up. I'm very mindful about this. I don't bring it down my neck. This is just for my face, just for makeup, especially if I need to be outside all day and know that I'm wearing a full face of makeup and I need something under it. It's really good. This is what I turn to. So it's kind of this special product that I try not to overuse because it's the price point. Jeez Louise. Murad, why? I don't know. I feel like you can't really justify the cost of that. And I know there's things a lot more expensive than that. And I'm only mentioning it in case you have the budget for it or you find it at a local Winners. I believe the US equivalent is TJ Maxx, that kind of place. If I didn't use that, I'd use my La Roche-Posay Anathelios. I use this on my neck and my chest, and I'll use this on my face if I'm not using that. But I don't always wear sunscreen. If I had some kind of event and needed 12-hour wear and I was going to be inside, I'd just skip the sunscreen because it's just one more product that might peek through your makeup. Even if it works really well, it's just one less product. I might skip it if I'm able to. You know, you weigh it. To wear sunscreen, not to wear sunscreen, to wear the more matte priming sunscreen, or can I wear my greasier sunscreen? You know, you figure it out. And that's all. That's almost it. Exfoliating. I don't exfoliate too much. If I over exfoliate, my skin gets irritated. I just find with keeping my skin moisturized, and I think with this toner, honestly, like it just has helped like prevent any kind of flakiness ever building up. But probably about once every 2 weeks, I use this very, very, very mild acid toner. This is from Asen, which is a Korean skincare brand, and it's specifically formulated for sensitive skin. Yeah, I don't find it has any of that stinging feeling, you know, with a more intense acid you might feel. It's very, very gentle. I could probably use this more than once a week, but I just kind of use it when I'm like, well, my skin looks like it might need a little refresh, and I'll just apply it after this couple swipes. That's it. And I do shave my face. I do shave it with the tinkle razor. Kind of move in downward strokes, get all that peach fuzz off. As someone who works in makeup, I just don't love how peach fuzz can turn up like on camera, like it can catch the light funny. And I just find my makeup applies better with that really, really smooth base. Sometimes peach fuzz can almost like trap things, like little bits of cell turnover happening. I just love this, and it does exfoliate. So I save this for when I have some time before makeup. Yeah, you want your skin to be really dry with this, so don't do it after moisturizer because then it's just gonna grab all your moisturizer. But my skin gets really itchy right after I do that, but then it fades in about 10 minutes. And I'd say I do this once every 2 weeks or so. And I also kind of get around the eyebrow. Around here, as someone who works in makeup, like there's always these extra kind of invisible hairs that get in the way of eyeshadow. So I use this. Please don't think this is me saying that women should remove all their facial hair. That is not what I'm saying. This is just something I happen to use and like for what I do in my work of makeup, okay? One more thing. I sometimes use a face oil. This emerald face oil from Herbivore. If my skin's feeling particularly dry one day, or in the winter, especially when it's like really dry air, I might use this at night instead of the moisturizer. And I do like this for when I'm doing more of a facial massage. At night, I do like to massage my brows. And I guess in a way, that's part of my skincare routine. In fact, I don't want to make a huge claim about this, but since being a bit more ritualistic about my facial massages, I have found that these lines that I have, I don't want to say they're getting better, but they're not getting worse. And again, you are allowed to age, but sometimes with facial expressions, you actually can find yourself holding tension in your face that doesn't feel good. So all of us do this a little bit, you know? Concentrate. And it feels so good just to massage at the end of the day. It feels like a knot right here. And sometimes I just like rest my face into it. So I will find these kind of points on my face like here. And I've discovered since following this one TikToker who does facial massage and how it transformed her face, like up into the hairline. it just feels good. You know, you feel the tension. It's a massage for your face. And it is a bonus that maybe some lines are softening ever so slightly. No big claims here, okay? This isn't magic, but you know, as someone who works in makeup, these lines sometimes build up makeup here. It's a little annoying. Yeah, I do find facial massage is a lovely thing to do. In fact, I had a friend who, when she discovered facial massage for herself, she realized she didn't ever like touch her face very often. She doesn't really do much like makeup all over the face or cleansing and skincare. But when she started doing the massage, she like started to tear up because she realizes like she's giving herself this self-love that felt both a release of tension and just like a connection with yourself. The jaw, oh my God, a jaw massage right here. I do that a lot. So yeah, the face oil is a good thing to use when you're doing more of a massage. And a lot of the time before bed in general, I even might just take a little bit of Vaseline and just kind of get in there. It just also helps me fall asleep. It just feels really decompressing. So that's it. That's my skincare. It's not too much. I just kind of switch it up a little bit depending on my skin's needs. I keep it simple. I have tried retinol, didn't like it, made my face break out. And no, I never got through the, what do they call it, the purging cycle. It never happened. And I don't love the idea of using actives all the time and having to be really nervous about being in the sun for a little bit too long and burning my face off. Sorry, it's just not for me. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you've also had problems with actives. I feel like everybody's always talking about retinols, but I don't think it's for everybody. Some people's skin just can't tolerate it very well. And some people's lifestyles may also not tolerate it very well. If you work outside all the time, like using that kind of skincare is really intense paired with the sun. So that's it for this video. Let me know if you learned something new. I'd love to know, or if you have any questions about any of these products or any ways I can potentially help you. I don't know. I'm no expert, but I have learned to manage my skin conditions over time. And yeah, I'm a big advocate of just going back to the basics sometimes when you need it. All right, friends, that's it for today. Toasty, let's take it away. Thanks so much to everybody for watching till the end. Toasty is about to spill all his skincare secrets. Nothing? Toasty, nothing? Oh, just drink water. Drink lots of water. He's a big advocate of that. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that always helps support the channel. And check out my Patreon link down below for bonus videos, bonus content, some behind the scenes thoughts. And until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, witches.